One of my mottos right now is, or for the last couple of years, has been be the person that you needed. And the reason why I chose that as a motto for me is because not that I grew up really hard, I didn't, but there are certain aspects of my life that I wish I had somebody to guide me, on certain things with certain thoughts, and to really be that person that I needed for life. So that when life hits you, you feel prepared, right? And the expectancy is that, that we would expect our parents to be that person for us, etc., etc. But sometimes that's not the case, right? Or sometimes they teach us what they think that we should know, and then there are other aspects of life that they leave out, and we are not privy to it. We're not privy to that information. And sometimes too, we meet people who tend to gatekeep information as well. They may know, you might ask them, and they will not tell you because of whatever reason they choose not to, which is all well and good, right? But for me, I grew up thinking and with the knowledge that, hey, anything that I have experienced or that somebody has experienced and I'm able to share it, that I will do that for the next person, for the next generation. And last week I had a conversation with a young person. Now, I love having conversations with young people. They keep me in check, one, and also I'm also able to be that person that I needed, when I was their age. And so I was having this conversation and they were asking me about my business. And in all honesty, I was feeling just a little slightly depressed because I was just going through within that week my memory as to how long I actually started my business, and then where I felt I was at that point in time. And I was a little depressed because I was like, yo, you've been doing this for a while and here's where you at, However, during that conversation, I recognized so many things that I overlooked. And this is where it's important for us to really focus on the positives rather than the negatives. Because even though, so I registered my business in 2013, and even though I registered my business then, the ups and downs that I would have experienced in business due to me, as one of my coaches said, treating my business as a hobby, right? Not really being totally business oriented either for a number of years, because I started my business whilst I was working with a company, and so it was a side hustle. And then because of course feeling comfortable and you have that steady income, you're really not pushing your business as you would have. And then eventually something that I used to do, I love to travel, so I used to travel 3-6 months for the year. I'm out of the country and my business is just my source of income to fund those travels, and when I come back, do the same thing, work hard, and then vacation harder, right? And when that coach at that point in time told me, Crystal, you're treating your business like a hobby, I decided, okay, cool, here what? I really do need to have consistent income from this business, because one of my plans in 2019 was to actually migrate. And my business at that point in time was online, and so it would have been an easy switch. That didn't work out the way that I planned it to, for more reasons than one, COVID, right? COVID was one of the biggest blunders. And then during COVID, what happened was I had a total mindset shift in terms of sustainability and understanding what having real goals were. Like, I had goals for my life, but it was up until a certain point, right? I didn't have legacy goals, right? I didn't think about building legacy, right? And those were aha moments and shining moments to me. Then I decided to change my environment, and in changing my environment, I lost an entire community that I had. So now with doing that, I had to work on my business, right? Plus grieve the loss of friends and family and everything that I would have known for the majority of my life, right? Still try to gain income, right? Pay all my bills and do everything and still live, right? So that was it was a really hard start, and eventually the bumps in the road started to get less and less, and that happened through consistency in really utilizing your network as a business owner. And then, as I said, consistency in terms of getting business, right? Doing things that other persons that they don't do in their business. Look for those gaps. And I have an issue where it is that I really don't post content as much as I would like to on here, but that's due to the fact that I know that I suffered burnout and everything in the past, but also getting busy with back-end work for other clients, right? So my promise today is to myself in terms of getting out there and speaking, telling others what I know, being that person that I would have needed, because guess what? I know somebody that is listening right now is going to be like, hey girl, this is me right now, right? And I'm going to share my journey with you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to DM me or ask it in the comments. I'll answer it, and I'll try to answer with a video as well, so that way, you get me, all right? And then also being able to move forward positively and build your brand, build your structure. Not just build your structure, build on the structure that you would have created. Those things are really, really important. So in answering his question, I realized that I really started putting the work in my business for the last 2 years, right? So my baby is not a 13-year-old, right? As I used to think, and I compare myself, and say, oh my God, for having my business that long, I pivoted so many times during this journey. I've started over from scratch many times. I've put myself in places and spaces where I went to help other persons with their visions and help them start their dreams and build on their dreams. And I left myself undone. But here we are to saying no to that narrative, all right, and being able to move forward. What do? I help you create a legacy business, right? In terms of helping you put structure and processes into your business to make sure that you do not suffer burnout, to make sure that you show up all the time and show up in a way that is suitable for you, not in a way that is unknown and like the other person. We are all individuals, we all different, and definitely we do business and we do life in a different way. So I am not about telling you to be a carbon copy of myself or of anybody else, but to show up as you, right? So on this platform is gonna be business information, events, life, anything in between. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna show up consistently according to us, right? Consistently. For some persons is once a week with vital information. Some people could show up 3 times a day. That's great for them. I'm not gonna do that, but I just let you know, right? So yeah. So my point is, let's go on this journey together, right? So for the next 28 days or so, I'm going to be trying to post a little bit more my journey, and let's get to know each other. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm Crystal, your big sister in business, your event producer, and accountability coach. So if you want to get in touch with me, send me a DM and let's get to talking. All right, have a great one. Bye.